Hey, welcome to Lights and Buttons. When I was planning to upgrade the TV audio behind me, I was originally planning to pick up a 3.1 soundbar. This means that it has a subwoofer, a left channel, a right channel, and last but not least, a center channel. I'll first talk about the importance of audio quality when watching a movie or playing a game, followed by diving into some specs, and then going into an apples to oranges comparisons to test the audio quality between the two soundbars that I have. More on that later. You might be a bit surprised. Today, we'll be comparing the Vizio 5.1 soundbar against a Samsung 3.1 soundbar. I know it's not apples to apples, but bear with me. I had purchased the Samsung HWT650 soundbar originally, and then after that, I picked up a Vizio V51 soundbar to compare. Surprisingly, the Vizio was cheaper even though it has more speakers than the Samsung soundbar. The Vizio V51's original price was $250 and now $150 after a sale. The Samsung HWT650's original price was $400 and I got it 50% off for $200. Since my original intent was to get a 3.1 setup, I'll leave the rear speakers unplugged on the Vizio soundbar. Even though Vizio has a more elaborate setup on paper with their 5.1 surround sound, how does that compare to a 3.1 system that's physically bigger? But before we dive into that, let's talk more about audio. It's hard to explain the benefits of a center channel without a live demo, but the next time you head to a movie theater after this 2020 pandemic, check out the voices when they play the movie soundtrack. Notice that the dialogues are clear and crisp, and it's almost like the person in the movie or video game is speaking right in front of you. It doesn't sound muffled against the sound effects of a movie. In addition to the center channel, I was also looking for other features that are commonly found within other soundbars, but not all of them. For example, the HDMI audio return channel, HDMI CEC, a wireless sub, and I'll put that in quotes, and Bluetooth connectivity in case you want to connect a tablet or a phone to your soundbar. I think this would be a good compromise between a traditional 5.1 surround sound and a 2.1 stereo setup because now you have the added benefit of a center channel. Out of all the speakers I've seen, I think most of them are either 2.1 or 5.1. And speaking of surround sound, I've heard that TVs that support the audio return channel over HDMI can have audio come through with stereo, but not all of them will support surround sound, so look at your user manual for more information. I was pleasantly surprised when I tested the sound quality between these two soundbars. Let's start off with some copyright-free music so I don't get a copyright strike on YouTube, followed by a voice test, and if you're watching this on your phone, make sure you put on some good headphones so that you can really hear the audio quality. Now, I'll have my mic record the speakers. I'll first have the original factory settings enabled for both speakers just to cut down on some of the variables, and that way nothing is tweaked in terms of the audio settings. Both of the speakers will be playing from the same source, so that way we'll further narrow down on the variables. I have set the mic settings to what you see on the screen so that the gain is consistent between the tests. Hey, welcome to Lights and Buttons. We'll be covering the top 5 quirks of my new Sony WH-1000XM4 Bluetooth headphones that came out early this year. Hey, welcome to Lights and Buttons. We'll be covering the top 5 quirks of my new Sony WH-1000XM4 Bluetooth headphones that came out early this year. Hey, welcome to Lights and Buttons. We'll be covering the top 5 quirks of my new Sony WH-1000XM4 Bluetooth headphones that came out early this year. For both soundbars, you can tweak different audio settings to your preferences, such as the equalizer or your subwoofer level. But one thing I found that was kind of a bit strange is that on the Samsung soundbar, changing the sound doesn't really change the sound output a whole lot, versus the Vizio, where I heard a bigger difference when I start to change the settings. In my own opinion from the testing, the Vizio V51 outperforms the more expensive Samsung HW-T650. This is interesting. The Vizio soundbar delivers a clearer sound and has a more compact setup, so in my mind, it's a win-win situation, especially since it's cheaper. I do want to make a note that although I'm returning the Samsung soundbar, it's not to say that all Samsung soundbars are bad. It's just in this particular case, the Vizio one outperforms the Samsung soundbar. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful if you're in the market for a new soundbar. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always, and I'll see you in the next video.